Hello everyone, I'm Paul, the social media manager of Be Quiet. And as such, I'm usually one of the first to know what our fans out there think and want to share with us. One topic has been quite dominant for some time, which is why we thought we would address it directly in its own video. Namely, the availability of our products. It has become quite difficult to get some of our products in the last few months. And Dieter and myself will try to make you understand why this is the case and what we can do about it. Well, speak of the devil. Hello Dieter.
Hello Paul.
In our channels I get to read the following statement time and again. I would really like to buy the Straight Power 11 with 850 watts or the Dark Power Pro 12 with 1500 watts, but I simply can't. It's sold out everywhere. I can only pre-order them with no exact delivery date. So what's going on?
Well, there are a lot of things coming together, most importantly Corona. The pandemic has now, as we know, struck around the world and as a result has brought some of our production to a standstill for months. By now everything is back in full swing, thankfully, but we are still busy closing this gap again. And this applies not only to our power supplies but to all our products, but it's power supplies that are currently in very high demand. And the problem actually goes much deeper. We don't produce everything ourselves. We have suppliers for many components such as capacitors or transformers, and they have to deal with exactly the same problems as we do. In other words, if their production is delayed, then ours is as well, because everything is interlinked. And at this point there is another problem, a luxury problem.
Which is?
A very high demand. Of course, it's a great thing that people really want to have our products. This too is related to Corona. A lot of people just spend a lot of time at home now, and what do they do there?
Well, Netflix, gaming, the Great German Bake Off.
Actually, I meant working from home, but yes, gaming is just as correct and important.
And that means that more and more people are setting up a computer with which they can do more than just video chat. In other words, you're getting a modern system with a modern processor and a modern graphics card, and thus inevitably also a modern power supply. This all intertwines because the new CPUs and GPUs are such power munchers. It's very important to have a reliable power supply with high wattage, and bam! They're sold out.
Yeah, once again it goes down to the suppliers, as we are not the only ones depending on electronic components. The car industry or consumer electronics need these components just as urgently as we do, and there is only so many of these available as the suppliers for them are mostly the same. In layman's terms, each PlayStation 5 is in direct competition with a new Tesla or a Dark Power Pro 12 power supply. It's also quite important to mention that there is more and more countries that need to be taken care of. People are working from home in emerging markets as well, and they too are interested in using reliable, high-quality hardware.
More mouths to feed. And then of course, we mustn't forget that the mining of cryptocurrencies is not over, quite the contrary. With each new hardware launch, there is a resurgence of this hype, and currently the prices are so high that mining is worth it again, even in countries with higher electricity prices.
And the necessary systems and components for that have to come from somewhere. Our production is running as high as ever right now. We are really doing everything we can to bring as many of our goods to the market as possible, but it is simply not enough to meet the full demand. There are simply physical limits.
That being said, there is light at the end of the tunnel, theoretically. Because at some point, Corona is over. Crypto mining is no longer worthwhile and the current computer doesn't need to be upgraded.
Theoretically, sure. However, as we all know, after the upgrade is before the upgrade. But yes, we can safely assume that the hardware market will calm down a bit later this year, making it easier to get our products, but unfortunately, we cannot guarantee that.
We just remain optimistic. What you gonna do? We hope that with this short video we were able to clarify some of your questions.
If you have any more of them, you can leave them here in the comments.
Exactly. So, thank you for watching, stay healthy and
stay quiet.